Hi, everybody. Happy Friday on this March 29th. A little late here, 13 now, evening update. There's a lot happening here tonight, but I want to get to all of our forecasts, but also our headlines. So let's talk about what we have going on here. First, an Albany woman is opening up for the first time since her grandsons were involved in a really scary shooting on Tuesday. Just days ago, Albany police swarmed the area of Arbor Hill, wondering how a toddler was shot inside a home. Tiffany Payton spoke exclusively with the grandmother and the guardian of that child. Lori Willis is shattered by the trauma that her family has been going through the past few days. She says the boys have a lot of different toys, lots of Nerf guns, and the 6-year-old did not realize that the gun was real when he turned it on his younger brother. The gun was hidden in a closet, according to Willis, and no charges have been filed in that case as of yet. A little bit of a different shift here. Huge crowds have descended upon MVP Arena in Albany, and that is good news for businesses as well. Dan Levy stopped near the War Room Tavern on Eagle Street earlier today. The owner, Todd Shapiro, told him he's ordered 10 kegs of Guinness along with lots and lots of sushi and ground beef. He says those are his specialties. The War Room Tavern, along with many of the other bars and restaurants in downtown Albany, have doubled their staff for the weekend. Some are planning to remain open 24 hours a day. Keep in mind now, MVP Arena has sold out over the next 4 days. That's 14,000 people a day. So also you cannot park in the MVP Arena garage. You have to park in different garages around the area and walk. Some are about 4 to 15-minute walks. So just something to keep in mind for that. Give yourself that time. Now let's talk about the eclipse. We've been talking about this constantly, and it's going to be a really big event for both everyday people and for scientists. I had a really cool interview with an RPI lecturer. Dr. Charles Martin is a senior lecturer in the Department of Physics, Applied Physics, and Astronomy at RPI. And he said he's been studying astronomy for 15 years, but has never seen a total solar eclipse. He saw the partial one in 2017, but is thrilled to be heading to Western New York to see this one. He's been talking to his students about the eclipse, showing pictures and answering questions. And he told me, watch for something special if you're going to be in the path of totality on April 8th. And we're going to talk about why that matters coming up on News Channel 13 Live at 11 in about 45 minutes or so. But speaking of the path of totality, let's talk about exactly where that is, because that's something that we've mentioned a lot. And upstate New York is going to be in that path. So the path starts off in Texas as it enters the U.S. It goes over Austin, just clipping Austin, Waco, right in the center of it, Dallas-Fort Worth, also on the edge of it. We get into Arkansas. We work our way up through the Midwest, getting into Missouri and Illinois. We get into Indiana and then Ohio. By the time we get to about Lake Erie, that's where we start to creep into New York as well. Buffalo and Rochester in the path of totality, Watertown as well. Upstate New York, Lake Placid, right in the center of it. That's where I'll be going to cover the eclipse. So if you are working your way to upstate New York, give yourself some extra time. Traffic is expected to be a little bit of a nightmare. So I'm leaving early in the morning to hopefully get there by noon. We'll see what happens here. But then after being in New York, it passes into Burlington, into New Hampshire, and clips Maine as well, before passing into Canada and then out over the ocean. So that's your path of totality for the solar eclipse. For tonight here, taking a look at Albany, the skyline lit up in yellow, green, and red for Vietnam War veterans. The governor issued that declaration today. And you notice the camera shaking back and forth because of the gusty conditions that we've been seeing. 15 miles per hour out of the north here. So that 38 degrees straight temperature feeling closer to 28 out there tonight. The wind gusts will continue. This is for Glens Falls, hour by hour heading into tomorrow, staying elevated, and Bennington has a very similar situation. This is Bennington tomorrow, getting closer to 30 miles per hour as we start tomorrow morning. Temperatures as we head into the next 8 hours here, starting off in the upper 30s, getting down to the mid 30s, but again, because of that wind chill, it's going to feel colder than that, getting down to the mid 20s by 5 and 6 a.m. So you might want to grab the heavier jacket if you're heading outside. A live look at our live Doppler radar from the last 6 hours over the entire country. Not a lot happening in our neck of the woods, and mostly quiet across most of the country here tonight. As we break it down for our area, more and more models are showing that rain that was initially going to be Saturday into Sunday morning. More models are showing it staying to the south of us. So as we watch this, it'll creep in here Saturday night, staying mostly to the south. The city getting hit, but again, it's not expected to be a major situation. But for us here in Albany or the capital region, maybe some snowflakes for the North Country, but your Easter looking beautiful, mostly clear, well, partly cloudy skies, I should say dry is what I'm trying to say. So do not let the rain impact your plans for Easter. That next batch of rain that we are watching off the coast or off the west coast, off to our west. I'm tired, guys. It's Friday at 10:15 at night. So the rain is off to our west. That will creep in Monday into Tuesday. For tonight, 32 degrees, partly cloudy, a little bit breezy out there tonight. That breezy conditions will stick around for tomorrow. 55 is your high, but because of the breezy conditions, feeling colder than that. 7-day planner looks like this. Rain now looking, some models are showing it coming in Monday night. Not all of them, but some of them. So I put it on there just as a heads up. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I would not count out an alert day at this point. It could happen. So we will see what happens as we get just a little bit closer to that. As of right now, not making it an alert day. So we'll have to talk about that story about the eclipse that I turned coming up at 11 o'clock. And I'm excited for you guys to see it. We'll see you then.